1,000 miles, and I never came back the same. Somewhere along the way, I left pieces of me behind. There's a road that cuts through memory, where I lost who I used to be. Every mile took something more, left it scattered on the floor. I kept moving, didn't look back, didn't notice what I lacked, till the silence started to show I wasn't whole anymore. Every step I took alone, I left a shadow I don't own. I left my ghost in every road, every place I used to go, every night, every fight still echoes in the cold. Yeah, I walked till I disappeared, through every doubt, through every fear. And now there's pieces of my soul in every road I used to know. There's a town that knows my name, but it don't feel the same. There's a bar where I once stood, where I lost more than I should. There's a bridge I almost burned, there's a lesson never learned. And every place I tried to leave still remembers me. You can run, but it won't fade. Every mark you ever made, I left my ghost in every road, every place I used to go, every night, every fight still echoes in the cold. Yeah, I walked till I disappeared, through every doubt, through every fear. And now there's pieces of my soul in every road I used to know. Maybe we don't leave it all, maybe we just split and fall into moments, into time, into places left behind. Every step becomes a trace, every memory leaves a place. Not alive, but not gone, just something that lingers on. Still there, still seen, still lost between. Yeah, I left my ghost in every road, but I don't carry that load. Every loss, every scar made me who I am so far. Yeah, I walked through everything, felt the weight of what it brings, and now I know I'm never alone, 'cause I left my ghost in every road. So if you walk where I once stood, in places misunderstood, you might feel it in the air. Something broken, still there, still there, still there. trying to explain. Stop trying to be heard. And that's when I realized silence says everything. There was a time I raised my voice, tried to make them feel my choice. Every word I tried to say just kept fading into gray. So I let the noise collapse, watched the truth slip through the cracks, and in the quiet left behind I found something more defined. No more shouting into space, no more trying to be replaced. Now the silence still speaks my truth, louder than I ever could. Every scar, every line tells a story I survived. Yeah, I don't need to prove a thing, don't need words for everything, 'cause even when there's nothing left to say, the silence still speaks my truth. There's a weight in letting go of the need to let them know. Every thought, every fight doesn't need to see the light. There's a power in the still, in the space where time stands still, and every moment left unspoken feels more real than what was broken. I stopped chasing every sound, and that's when I was found. Now the silence still speaks my truth, louder than I ever could. Every scar, every line tells a story I survived. Yeah, I don't need to prove a thing, don't need words for everything, 'cause even when there's nothing left to say, the silence still speaks my truth. Babe, the silence still speaks my truth. Maybe truth was never loud, never meant to draw a crowd. Maybe it was always there, in the stillness, in the air. Not in what we try to say, but in what we walk away, in the choices we don't defend, in the quiet at the end. No sound, no lie, no mask, just I. Yeah, the silence still speaks my truth, and I finally understood. Every step, every scar led me to just who I am. Yeah, I don't need to be defined by a voice or by a line, 'cause even when the world fades into gray, the silence still speaks my truth. So if you're lost inside the noise, trying hard to find your voice, just stop and listen. You might hear who you really are. saw it. No one knew what it took to build something real. I've been working in the shadows deep, where the silence never sleeps. Every brick I had to lay came from pieces thrown away. No spotlight, no applause, just scars I couldn't pause. And every night I stood alone, building something of my own. They never saw the weight I carried then, but they see it standing in the end. What I built in the dark still stands through the storm, through shattered plans. Every scar became the ground, every loss held it down. Yeah, they never knew my fight, never saw those endless nights, but now it's stronger than it ever was. What I built in the dark still stands. There were moments I almost broke, choking on the words unspoken. Every doubt I had to face left a mark I can't erase. But I kept laying stone on stone, even when I felt alone. And every time I thought I'd fall, I stood taller through it all. You can't fake what pain is made, you can't break what won't betray. What I built in the dark still stands through the storm, through shattered plans. Every scar became the ground, every loss held it down. Yeah, they never knew my fight, never saw those endless nights, but now it's stronger than it ever was. What I built in the dark still stands. Maybe it was meant that way. No easy road, no brighter day. Maybe all the unseen pain was the reason it remains. Not for glory, not for fame, not to carve a passing name, but to build something so real it don't break, it don't kneel. Still here, still strong, still built from wrong. Yeah, what I built in the dark still stands, and I wouldn't change those broken plans. Every fall became the rise, every truth cut through the lies. Yeah, I walked through fire and rain, turned every loss into gain, and now it's stronger than it ever was. What I built in the dark still stands. So if you're building in the night, with no one there to see the fight, just remember what's built in the dark don't fall in the light. Don't fall in the light. Whoa. I used to think all I'd ever leave was a mark, a trace, a name. But I see it now. It was never that small. through shadows, through the fire, through every fall, through every wire. Every step I couldn't see still carved a path inside of me. I thought I'd fade like all the rest, just another name, another test. But every moment I became was never built to stay the same. It wasn't just the things I've done, it's what I've now become. Turned into something more. There's a shift you can't ignore when you stop being what you were. Every line they tried to draw breaks when you become the force. I don't look for where I've been, I don't chase what might have been. I just stand in what I've made, a world that no one can replace. Not a trace that fades away, but a change that's here to stay. I didn't leave a mark, I changed the world. Every scar, every burn, every step, every turn, rewrote everything I learned. Yeah, I didn't stay the same, didn't play that little game. And everything I thought I was turned into something more. Maybe we were never meant to just exist and then forget. Maybe every fall we face is meant to shift the time and place. Not a shadow, not a name, not a spark without a flame, but a force that moves it all, a rise that never falls. Still here, still strong, still more than before. Yeah, I didn't leave a mark, I changed the world. Now there's nothing left unchanged. Every scar became the flame, every loss rewrote the game. Yeah, I don't fade, I don't fall, I became the shift in it all. And everything I once was before doesn't exist anymore. So if you think you're just a trace, just a moment, just a place, look deeper, look again. You're not here to leave a mark, you're here to change everything. I used to run from the dark, tried to bury every scar, but it followed everywhere I went. There was a weight I couldn't shake, Every choice, every mistake, every shadow in my past felt like something built to last. I tried to hide, I tried to run from the man I'd become, but every road just led me back to the truth I couldn't crack. I thought the dark was here to break me down, but it was building something underground. It was a shadow that shaped the light. Every fall, every fight, every scar I tried to hide turned into something I couldn't deny. Yeah, I was lost in the night, but that darkness gave me sight, and everything I tried to fight was the shadow that shaped the light. There's a fire in the things we fear, something real, something clear. Every doubt, every pain wasn't lost, it was the game. I stopped running from the truth, stopped denying what I knew, and in the dark I used to hate, I found the strength I couldn't fake. You can't grow without the fall, you can't rise without it all. It was the shadow that shaped the light. Every fall, every fight, every scar I tried to hide turned into something I couldn't deny. Yeah, I was lost in the night, but that darkness gave me sight, and everything I tried to fight was the shadow that shaped the light. Maybe we were never meant to escape what heaven sent. Maybe everything we fear is the reason we are here. Not the pain, not the fall, but the meaning in it all. Every scar becomes the sign that the dark was by design. Still there, still deep, still strong in me. I was a shadow that shaped the light, and I won't run from it this time. Every scar became my name, every loss became the flame. Yeah, I see it clear tonight. There was never wrong or right, just the dark that gave me sight, the shadow that shaped the light. So if you're lost inside the dark, thinking it will tear you apart, just remember, without the shadow, there is no light. There is no light. They thought I'd break, They thought I'd fall. They never knew I was building something bigger than it all. I walked through fire without a sound, kept my head while it all burned down. Every doubt they threw my way only made me what I am today. I stayed quiet, I stayed low, let them think I'd never grow. But underneath the calm they saw I was breaking every law. They never felt what I became. They only saw a different name. I was the storm they never saw coming. Silent skies before the thunder running. Every scar turned into lightning. Every fall turned into something. Yeah, I rose when they thought I was done. Now I hit like a loaded gun. And every step I'm becoming the storm they never saw coming. There's a power in holding back and letting pressure build and stack. Every moment they ignored was another strike I stored. I don't shout, I don't warn, I just rise without a form. And when I move it hits so fast, they don't see it till it's past. You can't stop what you don't see. You can't fight what's meant to be. I was the storm they never saw coming. Silent skies before the thunder running. Every scar turned into lightning. Every fall turned into something. Yeah, I rose when they thought I was done. Now I hit like a loaded gun. In every step I'm becoming the storm they never saw coming. Not a warning, not a sign, not a line you could define. I was building out of sight, now I strike without a fight. Every second that I held, every moment I was filled, turned into a force so strong they can't stop it, now it's on. Feel it rise, feel it break, feel the ground start to shake. Yeah, I was the storm they never saw coming. Now I'm the sound of the sky collapsing. Every scar became the thunder. Every fall pulled me under. Now I rise, now I run like the blast of a loaded gun. And there's no more running from it. I am the storm they never saw coming. They never saw coming. So when you hear it in the distance, that low rolling sound, that ain't fear, that ain't warning, that's me coming down. Coming down. I held it in, every word, every scream. And now it's louder than ever. they calm the skies, something never died. You can push it down so deep, but it don't forget to breathe. Every silence I held became a roar. Every locked door hit the floor. Every moment I ignored turned into something I can't ignore. Yeah, I try to keep it low, try to never let it show, but everything I held before became a roar. There's a waiting, holding back, and every truth I tried to mask, every time I bit my tongue, only made it come undone. I felt it building in my chest, like a force I can't suppress. And every breath I tried to save only fed the wave. You can't hide what's meant to rise, you can't silence what survives. Every silence I held became a roar. Every locked door hit the floor. Every moment I ignored turned into something I can't ignore. Yeah, I try to keep it low, try to never let it show, but everything I held before became a roar. Baby, I was never meant to stay quiet, to repent. Maybe everything I hid was the reason this exists. Not the fear, not the fall, but the voice behind it all, breaking through what I ignored. Now it's louder than before. Feel it rise, feel it break, feel the ground start to shake. Every silence I held became a roar, and I don't hide it anymore. Every scar, every war turned into what I stand for. Yeah, I don't keep it below, I let the whole world know that everything I held before became a roar. So if you're holding it inside, trying hard to let it hide, just remember, silence don't last forever. One day it becomes